The recording is on. You can continue.
Okay. So hello, good afternoon to all. So today we are going to see how we can set up Sitecore JSS in disconnected development Sitecore JSS development workflow. Okay, so and we'll continue work on the disconnected mode in Sitecore JSS. We'll build a complete one website. And later I'll show you like how we can in the next session. Today we'll just see how we are going to configure it, and we'll understand the few its folder structure, what are the product folder structure, and how we can create one, at least one component. Okay, so it will be a very quick session. So let me share my screen, and I'll start with this. So first of all, what we need, let me first of all, I don't have a proper documentation for this, but let me just show you like what are the things we are going to do. So we'll install what's required for JSS project to create in the system. Okay, so like prerequisites, create JSS and setup, understanding high level folder structure, one component creation. So what basically we are going to do is we are going to create a JSS application with Sitecore, and it will be the disconnected mode. We call it disconnected mode. Okay, disconnected mode means without Sitecore instance. Okay, just to practice it and to understand what's the Sitecore JSS and how actually it works. Okay, so we are creating a JSS application in disconnected development workflow. Okay, so let's start with, so how we are going to start, we'll install the prerequisites. So for the prerequisites, what generally we have to install, the JSS CLI. Okay, so first of all we'll install the JSS CLI. Okay, so how we can do that, let me we can quickly search it like this for JSS CLI. Okay, so as you can see, the CLI version is 22 and X. So we can copy the to install it globally, to install the CLI globally. Okay, to install the CLI globally, we can run this command. So I'll just copy this command. So you can see it's a npm install Sitecore JSS and JSS CLI. Okay, so what I'm hoping is you must have Node.js installed, because it's an npm thing and it's a JSS. You must have a Node.js node environment or Node.js installed. So basically, you must have a Node.js installed. As per for the prerequisite, Node.js to be installed, then we can run this JSS CLI. So let me copy this JSS CLI. It's npm install -g Sitecore JSS CLI. Okay, we can like add latest so that it will install the latest. So let me go. So first let's launch the VS Code. Before launching it, let's figure out the location that we supposed to do the do the JSS setup. So we'll go to a directory like a Sitecore. I'm creating a JSS demo like this, and there let me open this in a VS Code. Okay. Trust this. Now I'll go to the terminal and let's start running the command we noted down here. Okay. So first of all, let's just configure. Then after that, I'll explain you what we are doing actually. Okay. So the first step, what we are doing here is we are just installing the JSS CLI. On behind, let me tell you something about the JSS. What the Sitecore JSS is. Okay, what is Sitecore JSS? Okay, Sitecore brought concept where like a front end and a back end system. Okay, which we technically we name it like a headless. Headless. Headless means like you can understand. You can have a one backend and you can use any technology to use that backend services. Okay, so it will be like a I mean any technology, maybe the JavaScript technology or maybe other technology. You can just use the backend services to in any front end or any front end application or wherever you want. So that's what headless is. Headless things you can like backend and front end are two separate things. They communicate each other through one service in a Sitecore or maybe any service in any other platform as well through some services. Okay, so for the Sitecore, what we call Sitecore, I mean it communicates through a service we call we call it a layout service. So the Sitecore JSS or the headless thing, you can understand it. We have a two separate structure. One is front end and a back end. Front end and a back end, two separate things. Okay, front end, what we are creating now. Okay, like a JSS rendering host, or the front end application will be a front end. Okay, where we are going to where we create the component. Okay, where create component creates component. Okay, backend is the backend where I mean Sitecore operates. Like Sitecore has a backend, we can understand is like a Sitecore dashboard. So Sitecore dashboard here act as a backend. Sitecore CMS dashboard act as a backend here. Okay, so two separate things here. So how this the front end and this back end, how this front end and this back end communicate. Okay, so this will communicate uh, through the service we call a layout service. Okay, out service. So I mean, now in a headless or Sitecore JSS is a backend and a sort of front end and backend concepts. Or like a headless structure, so it's like you have a backend and one front end, and because these two are two separate structure, so these two will communicate through a one breeze, one something that is work like a mediator. So that is through the layout service. So layout service, from the backend, it's really the routes we can call, or maybe some the pages or the content using the layout service, and this layout service is consumed into the component. Okay, so this is the headless architecture, or the Sitecore JSS architecture. Maybe now, maybe you are not able to understand, or maybe I am not able to make you understand, but later in a later stages or later session, you will definitely understand. So just, Sitecore JSS, you can understand like a front end and back end. In a front end, we create components. In back end, the Sitecore dashboard is a back end. Okay, Sitecore dashboard releases some routes through the layout service, and the data fetch method in the layout service we use like a REST API or GraphQL. Okay, GraphQL. Okay, so it releases the routes or the content through the layout service that is to be faced by the REST services or the GraphQL services. Okay, at least you have to understand this much now for now. Okay, so I think you understood about the Sitecore JSS. Sitecore JSS is a as I've said, like a headless structure. The structure that is a front end and back end. Okay, in which we have one as a front end, one as a back end. These two communicates through the layout service, and data fetch method work through the REST and the GraphQL. Okay, I think I explained it 2-3 times, so I think a little bit you have a clarity now what the Sitecore JSS is. Okay, and what are the technology can be used for the Sitecore JSS? So yeah, I mean Next.JS is most popular, React JS, Angular, and as a front end, okay, as a front end, Next.js, React.js, Angular, and Vue. Okay, and backend is a Sitecore backend, only one Sitecore backend. Okay, so it can be backend can be the XP or maybe XM or maybe XM Cloud. Okay, so I'll not explain much for now. So XP is just experience platform we say in a Sitecore. XM is like an experience manager. XM Cloud is a SaaS platform for the Sitecore. Okay, where mostly these I mean the JSS rendering host like Next.js, React, and this technology platform we use to create the front end rendering host or front end website. Okay, so let's see the next thing that we we were creating we were installing, we were just setting our the environment. So we ran the CLI, and CLI is installed. Next thing is after CLI installed, we can just say like a JSS. It means now we have the JSS installed. You can see JSS is not supported CLI this. Okay, we can also just check our JSS version, JSS -- version. Okay, so our current JSS version is 22.5.4. Okay, so to create the project, what we have to do is we have to write like npx create create Sitecore JSS Next.JS. Okay, so let's start. So we have to create a project npx create Sitecore JSS Next.JS. Okay, so it will ask us the questions, right? It's saying it says like the version is 22.5.4. Yeah, do we want to proceed? We'll put y and click next, and we'll just put enter. Okay, so next question is where would you like to store your project? Yeah, I mean, this is the directory we want to store the project. So we'll, for now, our project name will be the Next.js. Is correct, not an issue. So would you like to pre-push? For now, let's say no. Would you like, what is the app name? Okay, it's asking us what is your name of the app. So the name of the app we can say for like a JSS demo. Okay, no, let's keep it separate name scjss JSS demo. Okay, so we'll keep the name like scjss demo as an app name. What is your Sitecore instance? So because it will be a disconnected one, so generally it asks when you create the project, it asks you the Sitecore instance name or host name. So I'll tell you what the Sitecore instance name for now, because we are creating a just disconnected one, so it's not required. For just to tell you, like the host name is the instance Sitecore instance name when it's get created, or when we install the Sitecore. Okay, when we set up Sitecore. So that domain name through which we register in the IIS server, so that host name we have to give. For now, we can just let it be as it is, and uh, hit enter. So it asking us like, would you like to fetch the layout? How would you like to fetch the layout and dictionary data? So fetch the layout and dictionary data from the Sitecore. We have two things, GraphQL and REST. So as I explained you already, like, our front-end application will communicate with the Sitecore through the layout service, and that layout service, fetching method works with, there are two methods we have, GraphQL or REST. Okay, because it's going to be a disconnected one, so we'll select the REST. Okay, if it was if it were uh, the connected one, then we could select the GraphQL. Okay, but it will be a disconnected. So I'll tell you more about what is disconnected and the connected. Maybe a little bit confusing for you, but let's just first create. You can just understand, like, there are two development workflow in Sitecore. Okay, so firstly, let's understand this way. Two development workflow. Okay. Workflow in Sitecore JSS. First one is disconnected. Second is connected. So what's in the disconnected is, for the disconnected, we do not require the instance for development. Okay, What instance means? We do not require the Sitecore instance. We do not require Sitecore instance to be installed in our system. We can just work with the solution we create this in disconnected mode. Okay, in connected mode, we require Sitecore instance to be installed because it will work in a connected mode. We require Sitecore instance for development. And what fetching method works with the disconnected? Fetching method REST. Okay, REST fetching method works. For connected, it's mandatory to be GraphQL. Okay, so yeah, we can select for now we can select the REST. Okay, or maybe we can select the GraphQL. It's not an issue for either of one, because at the last we have to push these changes to the Sitecore. We have to deploy these changes to the Sitecore, so we can select any one, but for now we'll select the REST. Okay, and how would you like to pre-render the application? So generally in the Next.js we have SSG and SSR. Okay, so maybe you must be a little bit clear about SSG and SSR. So SSG, I mean static side generation. SSR is server side rendering. When you are not concerned about when you are more concerned about the performance and faster load time of the application, then you can select the SSG. When you're concerned about more customization and more server side things like forms and dynamic implementations and SEO based application, then you must select the SSR. So we can select the SSR. Okay, so it's asking, so are you building it for the Sitecore XM Cloud? So no, for now we are not planning it for the XM Cloud. It just so we'll select. Okay, and the last question is, would you like to include any add-on initialization? So what kind of initialized template we should select for now? Because we have like 4 templates. We have Next.js style guide, we have style guide tracking, we include the XP tracking component, Next.js with SXA, and a multi-site with in a single Next.js application. So because it's a disconnected one, so we'll select this one. So what I'll do is to navigate to the templates or initializer, arrow key, we can navigate through the arrow key like this and select it. We have to press the space key. There is a guide there, you can see. So there is a star mark. We just put we just click we just enter the space key, and this one is selected, the first one set up for the disconnected mode. Okay, and we can hit enter. Okay, yes, which language, additional language for you want to select? Okay, we can just click enter. We can just hit enter. Yeah. Since some time it's going to create our Next.js disconnected as so Next.js disconnected project. Okay, so yeah, I mean, let's just wait for few seconds. It will be get created. So what's the more thing here is what I explained you about Sitecore JSS. Okay, so for more what you can do is from here you can read the article about what the Sitecore JSS is, and how we can implement the Sitecore JSS. Okay, so you'll get the more detail on the Sitecore documentation here. Okay, so the few things that I want to explain you. I mean, most of the the points you will see here while developing. At least you must understand this. Okay, few things will come in when we start developing. Okay, first thing is you can say like a component. Okay, component. Second thing is like a fetching method. Okay, the REST or a GraphQL. Third thing will be a layout service. Okay. And like a rendering host or page template. And JSS fields. Let's see in a quick way if I can explain you. So component is, I mean, any component we create. So basically in a Sitecore JSS, everything we create, not just like a page, but it's, it's just a component. So suppose it will be a one promo component, we'll create that component, and that component will be registered into the Sitecore. Okay, so rendering like a JSON rendering, Okay, I think I do not have to explain more about the component. And also the fetching method. REST is, REST API or REST services. So that's the REST is. Okay, GraphQL is a, GraphQL thing, where I mean, GraphQL is a, is a tool, you can say. It gives us a, the facility to only fetch the data we require. Okay, so the REST and GraphQL. Okay, next thing is the layout service. So as I say, layout service is a is a service in a Sitecore which in a JSS which gives a facility. It generally expose content or the data in form of JSON format. Okay, so you can understand. You can say in a short like it expose or it releases the data from CMS Sitecore in JSON format data. Okay, and those JSON format data is consumed into the component in the Next.JS, the website or Next.JS project or in our front-end project. Okay, what is JSON rendering? JSON, whatever component we create in the the Sitecore side, that we have to register in the Sitecore as a JSON rendering. Okay, so register. I will show this to you in maybe in next sessions. Register this in register the component page we have in Sitecore we create the page. So in Sitecore we have to create the page we have content editor, we have experience editor. So JSS gives the nice the interface to create the page by selecting or by just drag and drop the component we make. Okay, so that's template is something we create the template for each component, or maybe or for the page component, or maybe the or any little component. So that for that we have to create a template. So template you can understand like suppose if I have to create a one single component like a text and title. So first of all that I have to create template inside the Sitecore templates. JSS fields you can understand like a JSS field for the for the simple HTML, we have like p tag, paragraph tag, h1 as a heading tag. Similarly in a JSS we have some standard markup like a text, rich text, image. So I'll show you that as well. Okay, so it's just a basic. I mean, maybe in a later sessions we'll know we'll see that. So guys, you can see our JSS is just created, and it's showing us like this. You can see is a JSS logo, Sitecore logo, JSS is written, JSS application is ready. So there is a guide. Connect to the to connect we can run the JSS setup, but because it's a disconnected one, we cannot run this JSS setup. Okay, we can just run this application like a JSS start. Okay, so before going to that, we have to navigate to the project. So let me like cd Next.JS, and I'll run it like a JSS start. So you can see what it's saying is our this JSS is ready to launch in 3000. It say the manifest generated return on this. Okay, disconnected layout service is initializing. Okay, so we can just hit this and see. So you can see, I mean, we created the JSS project in disconnected board, and it's running. Okay, so it's a style guide. Style guide means there is a documentation in this, and we can see how we create a component, how we create manifest file, how we create all those things in a JSS project. So those all things are here. Okay, so we'll just for now what we'll just see the folder structure in a high level, and we'll see what and where is so that we can understand it. So it's just Next.js Next.js project, and it is the page route. Actually, it's not the app route. Maybe you may be working mostly on app route, because now most of the JSS the Next.js project people work on the app route, but it's a page route. So you can see we have we have the data. So data is data you can understand like in our site core where we put the content. Okay, so we have to make the content here. Okay, so what you can see like a component content dictionary, media, route. So inside the route we have this one. You see we have the YML file en.y. So you can see this is the content it's showing us there in a page like welcome to the JSS. So there we have this one, this title. Okay, so what are the placeholder we have? The other thing is the placeholder. Yeah, I'll explain it to you later, but for now you just understand, just try to understand like what the things is. Okay, so in the data you can understand in the site core is like where we put the content. So this is the data folder. Node module, you understand where the library is. Public is the where the media asset and all those things exist. Script is the site core, the library things here exist. inside the Sitecore, so it gives us the configuration and definition to set up. So mostly you will be more interested on the config those. So where we configure the app setting, the app, or maybe the Next.js project, the front-end project we create. There it gives us the configuration here. We set up the configuration. We set up the site definition here. Okay. Then we have a SRC. So inside it, we have all those things. So what most thing is the routing, in Next.js, you have to mostly it's a, the folder based, routing system, we say the file based routing system. So with the JSS, what kind of routing system it, supports and how it works. So let me just tell you, if you go to the SRC and there we have this one. This one. So this double square dot path dot ts. So this one is responsible to catch all the routes coming from the the Sitecore and map it to the this Next.js front end component. Okay. Next thing is there you can say we have a component. So anything we create, we will create inside this. So inside the page, we have other things like app.ts. App.ts, you can understand the entry point for the application. Okay, but most important thing is that you have to understand this one. So this is what we call like catch all option route. Okay. Catch all option route. This catch all the routes coming from the Sitecore and map it with the Sitecore component. Sorry, the Next.js component. So what are the components we have? We have a component for here. You can see the content block.ts. So this is the one component for now we have. And in this component, I'll explain you just a little bit. Okay. And other things you can see there, we have bootstrap, we have layout, we have middleware.ts, we have navigation, we have not found, we have a script. Okay. But most important thing what you have to know for now is how we create the component. Okay. So for today, I'll not show you how we create component. We'll just analyze the existing component. So existing component, we have this content block.ts. Okay. So in a content block.ts, you can see this the component. And so what are the fields? This is a text. We have a rich text. We have a field and with data source check. From where we are going to fetching it library, we have a Sitecore JSS JSS.Next.js, and also what we are importing component.props because it's a we are creating component. So we just created a one the component block props type. Okay, and this is how we are creating a component. So component block, then fields type are which type? It's a container block props type. We have a JSX. In a JSX, what we are using, so the JSS field markup like text is like maybe you can say like h1 or p paragraph, h1 or p paragraph, or maybe anyone like heading. For now we are using it for the heading. Okay, so and field dot heading. There we have a rich text. Rich text is I'll show you when we'll rich text is like a paragraph when you have the big content. So at that time you use a paragraph. Okay, so what other things here we have? This is the high level, the folder structure. Okay, rest thing I'll explain you later. Okay, we have this one like a .env. In a .env, we configure many things here when we go for the final deployment, like a JSS editing secret, API key. When we connect to the Sitecore, then we have to put the API key here, the API host, the GraphQL endpoint. When we are using the GraphQL, then and we deploy to to the XM cloud or maybe the JSS, then we have to put the GraphQL endpoint here. Then we have a site name. So whatever site name we create inside the site code, that site name to be here, so that it can be default language. Then fetching method for now, because it's a disconnected mode, we have this REST. Otherwise, if we have a connected, then it could be the GraphQL. Okay. So the other thing, if I say like how it communicates, okay, how we get these things. So as I show you, from the data we put the raw data. So when we are migrating, so it's go to the content section on the site code. So in a data, as I told you, this is a that .yml file, and we have a component here. So the component, let me show you the component where we have a component. We have a component, this blog.component. And what other things here is mandatory is, let me show you how like manifest get created, right? So manifest. So three things here. I mean, when we create, the component, we have to create this way. First of all, the component get created. Component get created inside the component folder like this. Okay. After the component is created here, we have to create the manifest file here like this, component of blog.sitecore.ts, where we define what are the maybe the template name, the the component name, and what are the required fields we need for the component. Okay, suppose a component have heading and content. So we define in the TS this the manifest file. Then we have a component, we have this the definition manifest file. Then what we do is we go to the data section, we put the content. Okay, in a data section you can see how the Sitecore content starts. Here we have a field like a page name. Okay, then placeholder starts. So the first of all it's the placeholder. So in a placeholder, what we have a JSS main. So inside the JSS main placeholder, we have a component name content block. So what the content block we have? So component we have created here is a content block. In a content block, what are the field we have? We have a heading, we have a content. Okay, so heading, what we gave the this like a welcome to the Sitecore, and content we have a like a field. So it's the entire field, the entire paragraph. Okay. So suppose let's try to make the changes, and I'll show you in a next session. We'll just create another component, and we'll the process I explain you, like creating component, entering the manifest file, definition, and data. I'll show you that. For now, let's modify this and see the changes. Welcome to the new CSS demo application, and save it. Okay. And let's see the changes if it comes. So you can see, welcome to the new JSS application. It's coming it here. Okay. So this is like how we create. If you have to explore like how the component works, so what you can do is you can just come here. In a component, you can see how we create a component. You have a style guide. So inside the style guide, you can see there are all things. If we have a create a component, where we're supposed to create something like a edit frame. So what are the things we require? So from here you can see Okay, if you have to create something like a, just a section, so how you can create a section? Okay, so style guide. From here you can see, you can get the idea like how you can create it. Okay, suppose a route field, how the route field works. How if you want to create a tab, so how the tab would be. And okay, if you want to like a reusable layout, so how you can create a layout. Okay, so so today like we created the application, we run it, and we explained you the high level folder structure. Also, like we analyze one component, how component works in the Sitecore JSS. Okay, so you can do it in your SAS similarly, and you can just start practicing it. So you can have a more question, but what our agenda is, we'll create a complete whole site, custom website in the disconnected mode, so that we can have a complete idea like how Sitecore JSS works. Okay, so any question? Do you have any question? So I guess you don't have question. Then we can end this session here. So thank you very much. Thank you to join this session. We'll continue it tomorrow.